All right, so we are going to do the CCC question in 2021. So let's just go to the website, and first you need to type in the Google is CCC past questions, or you might just have CCC questions, and you hit enter. Now you should find the first search item from the University of Waterloo, and now I click on here. You scroll down on the left hand side. Now you can find the past contest, and you click on past contest, and now you should go all the way to the scroll all the way to the down, and now you can find the Canadian Computing Competition CCC and Canadian Computing Olympia CCO. So we are going to work on the 2021. So here is the link. You click on 2021, and the first one is junior problems. So I'm going to open junior problems. Basically, after you read this question, it's a pretty simple question. So it's talking about when the atmosphere pressure is 100 kPa and the boiling point is 100 degree. So you have let's just saying you have the one, so it's 100 kp, and now you have a 100 degree. Now of course if you go above the sea level, like for example is 99 kp, and you should have the literally you might have the 98 degree for the boiling point. And if you go down the sea level, and you should like for example your the pressure should be increased, like for example is 101 kp, and now you should get 102 C, something like that. So yeah, so they give you a formula on here. It's called P equal to 5 multiplied by B. B is the boiling point. Like here is 100 degree or 102 degree, and subtract 400, and now you will get the pressure. And that's how we do the calculation in this problem. And so the input for the program is like they will give you one input in the first line. It's a number, and this input is the represent the temperature. Like for example, if 100, so it should be the temperature should be 100, and the output is two lines. And the first one is like hey, you should tell the P, the value of P is the pressure, and now you should output the second line is the integer. If it's -1, is below the sea level. If 0, it should be exactly at the sea level, and if it's 1, and it should be above the sea level. So for example, like the first example, if they give you 99, so how are you going to get 95 in math? So if we already have this formula, so what we got is like P is equal to 5 multiplied by 99 subtract 400. So the answer should be, let's say equal to 5 by 99, it should be 500 subtract 5, right? So 500 subtract 5 is 495, and now subtract 400, and you will get 95. So your first line should be 95, and the second line should be, because the period here is 95 is less than 100 kp, so which means it should be above the level. If it's above the level, and your second line should be 1. Okay, so hopefully you understand the logic here. And now we are going to do the program for this question. Right, so first I want you to open the PyCharm. If you haven't had the PyCharm installed, you should install PyCharm. Right, so you have PyCharm and you open it. So I'm going to create a new project for that. Let's just create a new project. So I have a new project here, and let's just create a project name. So when you go to the File, New Project, you should have this window prompt up, and in here, if you click on the project, this drop down, the project interpreter, you should see the virtual environment or something like that. And every time when you create, it will create a virtual environment in your project. And you also have the interpreter, like if you are installed correctly, you should have Python 3 installed. Right? If you have any question and you need to support, and just let me know, send me an email. Now what I want to do is just create a folder for that, and I will say let's just say boiling water, or maybe just questions, and underscore CCC. It's up to you. It's just a folder. It doesn't really matter. So I click create, and I will choose. So it will open new window here. And once you open this one, and you should have the folder called question CCC. If you expand the question CCC, you see there's a virtual environment folder here, and you don't have to touch this one unless you are going to install some external library. It will put it into the virtual environment inside this folder. So we are not going to create anything inside this folder. When you create any file, make sure you choose your folder called question underscore CCC, but you might have different name, so I put it in this name. So let me just right click on here, and there's a new, and this file, and because I want to create a Python file, so I go all the way to the Python file, and now I put it a name. It's called let's just saying CCC21J1. Okay, it's up to you. It's just a name. You can just simply put J1, and now after you have enter, it's asking something about the Git, and I don't want to put it in the Git, so I just remember, cancel, and I don't want to add it to the Git, and it's just okay. You don't have to add it into. We have the file here created, and I will try print hello, and now you can run it. When you run it, you choose on the menu, and now you choose run, and usually it will ask you the prompt and menu, and you have to choose the file you're going to run. So I create a file called CCC21J1. So I just run it, and now you should see on here there's some under the run menu, and you should have the output called hello. All right, so you should have hello, so which means this file is running, is just working fine. And let's just go back to here and to the question, because when we need the input from our sample, you need a function called input. So you just have let's just remove this, and we have the input, something like this, and you just have this function called input with a pair of parentheses, and you will get the input from the sample input, or from the for the test input. So usually you want to try see what's the input. So you will assign the input to a variable. So we have the first input as the first input is the boiling point. So it's B. So I may just put a variable name called B. I put capital B. It's up to you. You can just have a lowercase b, and either of them are work. So you have B, and how am I going to get to know it is running correctly? So you may just, again, you would have an output called just B, something like that. And now when there's a green button here, you can click on this button to run the script. So you choose the file to run 21J1. Make sure you are running this file. Now you click run. And here there's nothing, and there's no output in your this run console, and you have to put a number here. So let's say it's 99, and you hit enter, and you got 99, and which is the output from the print function. Now let's just remove this print, and we will continue for our question. And we're saying, hey, we want to get the P, the pressure. So how am I going to get the pressure? And what you want to do is just like you use this formula. So let's just copy the whole formula and go back here and paste the formula, or you can type it like it's just P equal to 5 multiple by B, the boiling point, and subtract 400. Since in Python we used a star to represent the multiple, so we use a star 5 multiple by B subtract 400, and now you got the pressure. And if you got the pressure, you got to output the pressure. So that's why you will have just again print and have a capital P, because you need to output the P. You use the function print. And the second one is you have to output it is above the sea level or below the sea level. So what you need to do is just like you have a if the P is greater than 100, so you are going to say, hey, it's if is greater than the it's greater than 100, which means it's below the sea level, all right? Because let's just go back here, because when you have So if you go back to the question and you take a look, it's saying as you go below the sea level, the pressure will increase, the boiling water boils temperature will of course will be increased. All right, so here if the is greater than 100, which means it's greater than the sea level, and you will have -1. And else, if, so in Python they use else if p is less than 100, and now you will print just 1, because if you go up the sea level, you should have you should be less than 100. If you go up the sea level, you would have the pressure decrease, so it should be less than 100. And else, of course, if you p is equal to 100, and now you should print 0. And now we will have this question, this coding. Let's just run it. And again, I will put the sample 99. And what's going on is saying, oh, there's something wrong here. Let's see this problem. The first one is saying on this file, line 2, the number 2 have some problem, and the error is like unsupported operate types for subtract. So it's saying, hey, we have this subtract doesn't work, and it's saying the string and the integer, they won't be able to do like subtract. So the reason is whatever we do input from the reading from the input and put it into the variable, it is a string. So we need to convert this string into the numeric. So in this case, we will convert it to the integer. So in Python, if you want to convert it to integer, now you need a function called int, and this function, and put the input value inside the int. Now it will convert the input to the integer. Now I just click run, and again we will have 99. Now you should of course hit enter, and you will get 95 and 1. And if I scroll up here, and you should have the output called 95 and 1. And again, if we have 102, and let's try 102, we go back to our program and click run, and now you have 102. You should have the output 110 and -1. All right, that's it for the J1 question.